Hey, what's up guys? Righteous or Crazy here, and I decided that I would do something a little different now. Instead of competitive guides and all that, I just decided, hey, I'll just record the very end of a speed run I was practicing. So I was pretty bored about a couple days ago, and I decided, it'd be fun to speed run Pokemon Leaf Green, because why not? I saw NBM do it, and I'm like, oh, that looks really fun, let me try it. So this is my second attempt, and I only recorded the Elite Four because I did not realize I wasn't recording at all when I did this. So you can go ahead and laugh at me for that. And I figured no one would really want to watch an entire 3-hour-ish, I think it's about 3-hour speed run of Pokemon Leaf Green. I mean, you could see the top times around 2 hours, so you save yourself an entire hour. But I figured I could just discuss strategy and how you would go about doing this from the Elite Four, because I feel like I have the Elite Four strategy down to a science. So for anyone who's never seen a Pokemon Leaf Green speedrun, what you really want to do is just kind of focus all your EXP into Blastoise. What I see other people do is they'll get Zapdos, and it makes it a lot easier to have Zapdos, but I feel that the whole thing can go by faster and it's completely manageable, just Blastoise. So I'm fighting against, I believe her name is Lorelli, I actually can't pronounce it anyway. The strategy against her is just to X attack about 6 times, and then you're just gonna brick break her team. You'll brick break her Dugong, her Cloyster, then you're gonna double strength her Slowbro, and strength Jinx, and then brick break Lapras. And the reason why you want to strength against Jinx instead of brick break is because 1, it'll actually KO, and 2, you'll go by faster without the super effective text showing on the screen. That's about 1 or 2 seconds, probably just 1 second, but every second counts in a speed run, even split seconds. And if you notice earlier, I used about 5 X attacks before I full restored with Blastoise against Dugong, and that's because you get into the HP threshold that you'd really want around there if your Blastoise doesn't have the greatest stats. These are decent stats, but I noticed that's something that would get around Torrent range, so around the HP I want to use against Bruno, because my Blastoise does not have the greatest special attack, so I really need to use Torrent. So by getting all this damage early, I can guarantee myself to be around the 50th range, which is around the HP I really want for Bruno. And the strategy against Bruno is to just set up my X specials, as well as that's about it. The problem with Bruno is the AI is really weird on his Onix. Sometimes they'll go for Rock Tombs, and that'll make you want to use I actually have no idea how to pronounce this this item, but it's the one that doesn't allow your opponent to lower your stat. It's guard something, guard spec, I believe. Yeah, there it is, guard spec. And that's because the Onix will usually almost always use Rock Tomb a lot, just to lower your speed, and with the guard spec it will guarantee that you will not lose speed. Generally you want to use 1 X attack, but sometimes even with Torrent I still don't knock out things, so I'll use about 2 X specials. I accidentally said X attack, but 2 X specials. And when you get around to around half HP, the Onix will go for Earthquake, and usually I'll put you a little 200, which is 30 HP, where you get knocked out by a Mach Punch from Hitmonchan. So I was lucky enough to get it to around 40 where I wanted. So now I don't only have the 2 of the X specials, I have Torrent, so now I'll be doing a lot of damage. I'll be able to OHKO everybody with Surf, and that's usually what Blastoise is going to be doing. He's going to be sweeping everybody. I'll be sweeping Bruno and Agatha with Surf after I get all the boosts I need. And out of all the times I have tested this, without Torrent, I have never been able to knock out that Machamp unless I use another X special, but at this point in the game I don't have enough money to afford another X special, so I just kind of really hope I'm in that range of Torrent. So what you really want to do is make sure you're still in the range to have access to torrent as you get to Agatha, because her Gengar is actually surprisingly bulky and will be able to take an X special boosted Surf, and you really just want to make sure you only use one because you need the others for Lance. You need the other 5 for Lance and your rival. So the way the AI is set up against her Gengar is the Gengar will almost always double team, or it might hit you with like a stray Shadow Punch, but really you just want to hope it just goes for double teams, because you could just use your X speed and your X special, and then you can use an X accuracy that maybe you don't miss because you just really want to conserve your power points. So using the X special there, the X accuracy there, because I almost always have extra X accuracies by the end of my run, so I figured this is probably a point where I can afford to use one. And it's a lot better because if you miss Surf, that could be really fatal down the line, because you're going to need at least one for Lance. And after you're done setting up, you just pretty much sweep her team with Surf. Had I not have the torrent boosted Surf, I would not have knocked out her strongest Gengar. He would just barely survived, nor would I have been able to take out the Arbok either. So after you beat Agatha, you have like no reason to rely on Torrent and Surf, so you're just going to go in full restore, make sure you go in full HP against Lance, because you're going to set up on his Gyarados. And the way the AI works with his Gyarados is it'll majority of the time just Dragon Rage you till you're about half range and Hyper Beam you. Hyper Beam will do, I've counted like around 80 damage. It'll do around there. It's honestly like based on rolls of the RNG, so it can either you'll just barely live or it might kill you. It depends. So if you're around 80 HP, you can take the gamble and you might live it, or you just might want to full restore again. But by the time you get to Elite 40, you just spend the rest of your money on full restores anyway. I bought about 14, so that's all I could afford at the time, and I found a couple throughout the game that were hidden. So the idea here is I'm just gonna go use an X speed. I believe I use 2 X specials, and I use an X accuracy because Blizzard is very important in this battle, and you cannot afford to miss a single one. So I use an X accuracy. So Blizzard should 2-hit KO Gyarados. If not, you can go ahead and use Strength to guarantee it. So sometimes it's based on a roll. I just recommend that you go for Strength and then follow up with another Blizzard. As you see, I almost got knocked out. It would have been smarter to just full restore there because I don't need to rely on Torrent anymore. And after that, you just pretty much sweep his team. You just go for like Blizzards on all his Dragon types. And I thought his Dragonite had extreme speed, which is why you'll see me go for the full restore on Dragonite, which is completely unnecessary and just made this thing go by longer than it needed to. But that was just completely unnecessary because he does not have extreme speed. And as soon as you knock out the Dragonite, you just use your last Surf on the Aerodactyl. you just really want to make sure you have an Exiler before you enter the league, because if you don't, you will not be able to complete the league using Blastoise by itself. So just make sure you have full health right before you fight your rival, and use the max Exiler to make sure you have all the power points you need. You could find a couple max Exilers throughout the game. I found mine in the location you would find it if you use an item finder. So the game plan you want to go on against your rival is, because Pidgeot does have Sand Attack, and you really want to make sure your accuracy is not messed with. You want to use the guard spec. You want to use a X speed, the rest of your X specials, so like 3 of them, and you also want to use your X accuracy, because you want to make sure you don't miss Blizzard against Venusaur. As I did this, I completely forgot about the X accuracy, so whoops. I was lucky enough that Venusaur's only grass type move is Solar Beam, so that gave me another chance to go for Blizzard. I can't believe I actually forgot that, because like I had this like kind of beaten into me. Not so much the menu routing. If I had more practice on that, I would probably shave off at least 30 seconds on this, but I'm completely satisfied with my time, because the first time I speedran, I got like almost 4 hours, and I finished this one in 3, which is pretty great. So I missed the Blizzard, and I go for another one, and I luckily land this one. Afterwards, on Alakazam, because I knew I'd be able to take any move Alakazam goes for, I decided to go for the X accuracy then, because I'm going to need it against the Gyarados. So those are Alakazam. Use X accuracy and just surf the rest of his team up into Gyarados, and it's the same strategy used on Lance's Gyarados. He'll be able to take a Blizzard, so if you're at low HP, just heal all the way up. You're not really relying on Torrent anymore. You only relied on Torrent against Bruno and Agatha, because you really didn't have another way of getting through them other than abusing Torrent. So when you get to Gyarados, just full HP, because Hyper Beam is very strong. I actually don't know if Gary's Gyarados has Hyper Beam, but I didn't want to take any chances. I should probably be looking up these movesets too, because I'm just kind of playing these speed runs through trial and error. I did watch MBM's speed run, but like he was very prepared, so it didn't really tell me the movesets of the Pokemon he fought against. In the future, I would go ahead and do my research on that. Maybe not on Bulbapedia, because this run has shown me that Bulbapedia is not the best place to get information, because they actually get pricings and item listings wrong on certain stores. So I took down Gyarados, and now you just go for Surf, knock out Arcanine, easy peasy lemon squeezy. And just like that, you beat the Pokemon League using only Blastoise. So if you feel like having fun, you can go ahead and do this. Speedrunning itself, I don't know, it's just really satisfying to me to be able to beat a game I love in a short amount of time, because usually if I were to like take a guess, doing a normal playthrough where I battle every trainer, and not necessarily level grind, but just kind of battle just all the trainers I see, it would take about maybe 12 hours in this game, probably a little shorter. So to be able to beat the game in about 3 hours, it just kind of opens your eyes to how fast you can play RPGs, if you know them well enough. If you guys are interested, I guess I can upload a full speedrun, but it won't be as impressive as everyone else's. When I originally did this though, I only did it with Blastoise and not Pidgey. I do have a revive, and in case I lost Blastoise, I would want to rely on the revive, so that's why I decided to bring in Pidgey this time. In reality, it might have been at least 3 hours and 1 minute just because of the softer setting. Alright, well, thank you guys for watching. Leave a like if you want to. If you actually want to see a full speed run, I'd be more than willing to. Just let me know in the comments. And that's about it. This is Righteous Rayquaza signing off.